Hello, and welcome to Indie Encounter. My name is Sandra Lorraine Coleman. The mission of our show is to give independent performers and artists access to as wide an audience as possible, and to give you, our viewers, a window into their art, their artistic process, and why they have chosen their particular avenue to speak to the world. All art is about communication and connection. Let's meet today's guest, singer, songwriter, musician, William Hawkins. William, welcome, welcome,
Hello.
welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
It's
here.
a blessing. It's a
Yeah.
blessing. So, musician, singer, and songwriter.
Yes.
How do you do all of that?
Oh man. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm constantly seeing music come to life, and it confirms and affirms like that I need to keep going with it personally, and I think on a larger scale for other people.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So what inspires you to write a song or to play a certain melody? What's your inspiration?
Love.
Oh.
Oh man, I'm a romantic.
Aw.
Yes. I'm just gonna be honest about it. Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful. It's nice to hear. I haven't heard that in my
Yeah, we gotta hold on to romance.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So is that how you woo the ladies with the? Or
I wish that I could, honestly. The way that I write, it's just honest. But I think in terms of the ladies, like I have to put the guitar down and still be like a good man.
Right.
So I never want to like, hey, I'm gonna sing to you all the time, because it's
Right.
like I have to be a good guy.
Right.
And
You have to be the provider and
I gotta take you out. I gotta,
Right.
have my stuff together. So
Right. Right. Right.
it's made me comfortable. Like when I was growing up, I wasn't comfortable talking to women at all. And so when I started writing and started playing, it just made me say like, I really like your earrings. To be able to say that
Right.
honestly and not be like,
Right.
I'm trying to,
So because there's a big difference.
there is a big difference.
Yeah, versus somebody saying it just to get over, or somebody
Right.
saying it because they really think you have nice
Right.
earrings.
Yeah.
So your songs are basically like really like honest.
They are honest. They are what I really went through, and it's exciting with this record to be on the opposite side, because this is a very it's not a happy record. It's called Desperate.
Oh wow.
But I'm on the other side of it, and everything that's happened since I've released the record has been so exciting, and just meeting people and a whole new thing that I just didn't expect.
Right.
2 weeks ago before I put the songs out. So I'm excited.
Wow. So Desperate has birthed something else then, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So you put yourself out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So
In a very honest way, and it
Right.
just, completely changed my life.
Right, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So now with the writing, the songwriting, and the singing, and because people just seem to be, to me, to be born with that. It's not, singing is not something you can learn. Really, songwriting is, it's like a special type of writing when you're writing a song. So has that always been in you? Were you born with that gift?
My father played guitar. I always felt like, because he's a role model, that I would play. I didn't think that I would be doing this. When I did start playing, it was very natural. It just sort of came out, and I just kind of ran with it.
Right.
And it's been exciting just to see and just to write and to grow as an artist, but also as a person.
Right.
I think there's a level of maturity now in my writing that is how I am when I'm not playing, but also how it is when I am playing. So it's exciting.
Right. So, and you chose the guitar. Is that the instrument that spoke to you, or because I know some people say that drum was calling my name, or
Oh man, they all do. When I was young, I actually wanted to be a rapper. I'm not gonna, and I said, well, I gotta make beats, so I'm gonna have to learn music. So I bought my guitar, I bought a keyboard, and I bought a bass, and it just all seemed to flow. Like when I'm playing bass, I'm completely a bass player. When I'm playing drums, that's all I'm thinking about. And so
Wow.
when you're learning them, as you learn more, you find out how they're all connected, how the bass works with the drums and the guitars, and there's all this space and everything. So it's exciting just to be able to pull ideas out of your head and say, well, you know, what would a bass player do, you know,
Right.
while I'm playing this guitar, and to be able to do that. So it just, it flows. But I do, some people like I'm all drums or I'm all bass, and it does really kind of speak to you in a personal way.
Right. So you play all those instruments?
I do play all
my
those instruments, yes.
Now you are talking to somebody who cannot walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, and you rattled off 4 instruments that you play, and I'm pretty sure you do it very well.
But I don't want to say I do, but they're all connected. When you when you're learning guitar, and you see how it's laid out on the piano, and then you see how the bass works with all of that, you just start, it just carries over.
Okay.
It's very natural.
So you can read music as well? Because I know some people that play instruments don't really read.
Yeah, you know, playing the flute helped me to read music.
You play the flute too?
I play the flute. It's a very basic book. It just shows you this is the note, and you learn it, and as you go through the book, you're like, hey, I can read music.
Wow.
And then, you know, you pick up other books, and you're like, oh, I know what note that is.
Right. So I'm going to ask you a dumb question. So you got the flute and you're playing it, and those are the notes.
Right.
Are those the same notes for other instruments?
Yes, they are.
See, that was a dumb question.
No, no, it's not, because it's the way it's the way the instrument is laid out. So the guitar has the same notes, but the way it's laid out on the sheet music, like a certain note is in a certain place, and you have to know that.
Right.
But no, that's not a stupid question at all. It's very.
Because I felt like it was a dumb question.
No, it's not. It's a very.
I'm glad.
It's a very good question, and it matters in terms of learning an instrument.
Okay, so you actually, how many instruments do you play?
Oh, I can't even count.
Stop it.
I mean, not that there's so many, but I hear and I feel music.
Oh,
like
okay.
I want to buy a cello
Wow.
and learn it. I just hear it. It's a part of my music. I know that it's coming. So it's not like, oh, I play 15 instruments. It's
Right.
like, man, I really hear strings going on. And when I'm at home at 11 o'clock, I can't call somebody and say, hey, can you come over right now? I got this idea. I need to be able to get it out. And it's all relative. It's
Right.
once you figure out the mechanics of it,
Right.
you can get an idea out.
Right.
And like we were talking before, have someone else take it to the next level.
Expand on, yes. You come up
Yeah.
with the basics or what you're hearing. But that's so powerful that
Yeah.
you said you don't want to, at 11 o'clock at night, call somebody who plays the cello. You want to be able to put that in your own work
Right.
yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would be scared to try to, you know.
No, I think it's an around the clock thing. I mean, when you're inspired or when something happens in your life, if you go to a show and you meet somebody, you come home and you want to write a song at 12 o'clock.
Right.
You don't want to call somebody and say, hey, can you come play this guitar so I can get this song out? I mean, I've literally
Right.
woken up from my sleep and had a song in my mind
Right.
and, tried it and went back to sleep. It's,
Yeah.
you
Wow.
know, it's very freeing too.
Well, poets do. They wake up
Yeah.
at 12, 1 o'clock and
Right.
call their friends, hey, listen to this. We do it all the time. So, but speaking of music and all the instruments that you play, you're actually sitting here with a guitar.
I am sitting here
So
with a guitar.
we would love for you to share something with us right now.
This is a song called Broken Road.
Okay.
Spinning with a broken wheel, slowing down, we missed our turn again. Don't know where the damage starts, don't know where the exits are. It's hard to know the miles we made as friends. Didn't mean a thing when we were lovers. Thought our love was rolling down this open road. Thought we'd spend forever on an endless road. Guess our miles were numbered on this open road. Nowhere left to go along the broken road without you. broken road without you. Stranded with a puzzled heart, losing track of where the pieces are. If all the signs were pointing to an end, I'd go another mile with you again. It's hard to know the miles we made as friends. Couldn't save the road we made as lovers. Thought our love was rolling down this open road. Thought we'd spend forever on an endless road. Guess our miles were numbered on this open road. Nowhere left to go along the broken road without you. Just a broken, broken road. Just a broken, broken road. Just a broken road without you. Just a broken, broken road. Thank you.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's sad but beautiful.
Thank you. And
Broken road.
yeah,
Wow. How many of us have been on those?
how many?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very relatable.
yeah,
Yeah, very.
Yeah,
I think
so-
everybody has one of those
Yeah.
broken road stories.
yeah. We do, and that's what I think I go for
Mm-hmm.
in my writing, is that honesty, is that connection, and it is very freeing to see it. You know, when a guy comes up to me and says, "Man, I was almost in tears because of that song," I know that I was there,
Right.
and so it's encouraging.
Yeah.
You know, it gets me to the other side,
Right.
and I think we need that in music.
We do.
So that's what I'm going
Yeah.
for.
And we need all the honesty we can get right now because there's
Yeah.
so much that's so dishonest.
Yes, it is.
You know, and to be able to come to a venue or put in a CD and we know this person is just being honest.
Right.
You know, just
Yeah.
the truth, and we can relate to it.
Mhm.
And even if we haven't, you know, got on the other side yet, at
Right.
least we know we're not by ourselves.
Right. At least we know.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know, because
definitely.
sometimes that makes all the difference in the
Yeah,
world.
It
you
does.
know? So
It-
I know you probably, there are probably some places that you perform. Where do you usually perform at?
Man, I love LA because there's so many places. There's open mics, there's clubs. Right now, I'm performing at a lot of just open mics around the city. As a musician, as someone who wants to do it, my goal is to get in front of people who haven't heard me before.
Right.
I could go play, you know, a club and invite my friends out, and I think they would come to support me.
Right.
But my goal is to reach a broader audience, and you
Right.
do that by just hitting the streets.
Exactly.
And I'm excited to be in a position to play LA. I'm looking forward to going to San Francisco and going to New York on my own dime and just telling people like, hey, these are my songs. Would you listen to them?
Right.
And growing and building. I think this type of music, it develops over time. It's not like, oh, did you hear Will Hawkins? It's, you know, sort of
Right.
like a viral thing. It's more,
Right.
it grows.
Right. Well, I tell you what, while you were sitting here playing, what it kind of reminded me of was Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
And I love her.
Yeah, she is so dope.
Which means I love you now.
Okay,
See?
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what that same vibe, you know, not that you sound like her, but that same like earthy type. Yeah.
That's what I'm going for in my playing and in my singing and in my content. So whenever somebody says, "Oh, you remind me of this guy," I know
Right.
that I'm getting close to that sound. in my head and what I want to sound like. I think you have to be very specific,
Right.
With how you want to sound. You can't just be like, I don't know what I want to sound like.
Exactly.
You know.
You have to know. You have to have some direction.
Yeah, you
Well,
do.
you picked a good direction. Because I loved it.
Thank you.
Loved it very much.
Thank you
And
very
I know you have another one to, I think something
do.
about LA, was it?
Oh,
Was it?
man, yeah,
Or
this
I don't
is-
know if that's the one.
It is called LA,
Okay.
and it is self-explanatory.
Okay.
So it's. City lights just look the same until I saw them on your face. I'm always doing bad. I'm in the dark without that light you had. Crowded buses ride the same until I rode one to your place. Now these wheels just keep on turning past all the stops I thought I'd always have. Nothing to do in LA. Stuck with this dream that we made. Don't know what I'm doing in LA. Writing songs about a girl that doesn't feel the same. Don't know anywhere I would be safe. Can't go anywhere that doesn't make me feel this way. Don't think I'll make it in LA without you. Every sunset falls the same. An empty sky without your voice to put a star inside the frame. I'm always doing bad when I'm stuck under the sky we had. Nothing to do in LA. Stuck with this dream that we made. Don't know what I'm doing in LA. Writing songs about a girl that doesn't feel the same. Don't know anywhere I would be safe. Can't go anywhere that doesn't make me feel this way. Don't think I'll make it in LA without you, without you.
Wow. LA.
True story.
Yeah, I could tell. Not that, that's a bad thing,
Right.
but yeah, I just really felt like it really happened. Yeah, because the way I could see, like, the way you were going around the city, and then everything you did and everywhere you went reminded you of this person.
Yeah. Because I sold my car to do more music because that was really what God put on my heart.
Oh, wow.
So imagine being someone in LA who wants to date and wants to meet somebody and be comfortable, say, look, this is where I am. So you're catching the bus to go see this person.
Right.
And it doesn't work out. You're like, oh my
Right.
gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, but then sometimes you have to think that maybe we shouldn't be so superficial, and that if somebody was willing to make that sacrifice for their
Right.
music, we should respect that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should be
definitely.
mature enough to respect that.
Right.
Because I don't know. See, I don't know if I would have sold my car for the music. I might have sold my car for a different reason,
Right.
but so that kind of commitment.
Right.
See, and I would look at it from a different perspective. If he can commit to his art,
Right.
then oh man, he could commit to me.
Right.
You know?
I think we have to invest in ourselves and in
We
our
do.
music, whether you want to act or sing or
Right.
write a book. You have to make that decision. And for me, it was the car would break down, but I want a microphone. I need a guitar. And not in a like, oh, I want to have a bunch of guitars. It's an instrument. It's a way to get your voice and your sound out. And I've seen, and I'm a believer in how God has just opened up doors for me that this is the right place and the right time. And I haven't missed a beat, you know, with the car. And like you said, I'm stuck on love. And I'm hoping that I can really find a very genuine relationship. And I think young people are struggling.
They are.
I can imagine trying to date, you know, now. I think there's so much technology, there's so many hurdles to climb, you know, in terms of being in a relationship, that I want to write music that allows people to be honest and free and hopefully have. You know.
And you know what? I don't want you to say hope anymore.
Oh,
that you will find that person.
I will find that
because your voice is too valuable and you're too gifted not to be able to find somebody who can appreciate that. And I think in all this craziness and chaos, you know, that the world is going through, somebody with your talent and just you're genuine, and you should be able to attract.
It should be easy, right?
It should be, but there's so much. They have to, you know, because just like you're looking for that person is looking for you. And so they have to get through all the other stuff. You guys have to get through all that to get to each other. So, but it's coming. I promise.
Thank you.
I promise it's coming because, like I said, you're amazing.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. So, what would you tell a young person coming up? You know, those coming up behind you, if they wanted to write songs or play music, or what advice would you give to them?
Be honest. Be very honest, and to trust yourself and to trust your voice. Like the way that I write, it's not, say, what you might hear on the radio. It's not popular, but I've seen opportunities being created, and I've seen my life change, both personally and musically. So I would encourage them to don't be afraid, whether it's simple or whether it's, you know, very elaborate, just to really trust in yourself and in your voice, and build that connection with your music. I think there's a disconnect with certain music that's out right now that we don't get. That when you hear Tracy Chapman, you feel that connection with the story that she's telling and the way she's telling it. And so I would encourage them to keep that and make that a priority in their music.
Because so many other artists are commercial with it. They're trying to sell, but you don't sound commercial at all. You sound like you're trying to convey a message. You know, be honest about your situation and what happened to you, whereas somebody else might tell somebody else's story or what they think is the story.
And I think we don't see enough success stories of independent artists, because there are independent artists out there that are working and making good money, but all you see is a Rihanna, you know. So if a young girl's growing up and that's all she sees, that's what she's going to want to do. But there are other artists who play guitar and play all these wonderful instruments that make a living, and it's possible. I'm very fortunate to have seen certain people in my life, which helped me to be more confident and follow my own path in music.
Do you think that if the younger children saw more honesty in the art, then they would be more independent versus trying to get a record deal, and maybe that's why?
They would. They would. There's something very, I can't think of the word right now, that just your voice and the guitar, or even just your voice, that resonates with people. And you don't need all the extras and the bells and whistles. You can just pick up a guitar and write a simple song, and people will enjoy it. And I think they need to see more of that kind of coming up.
Absolutely. Well, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do the closing, and I want you to play us out. Because I love it.
Definitely.
And I think they love it too.
Okay,
so I'm going to do this, and then back to you. This has been Indie Encounter. a journey into the world of the independent creators of art and artistic expression. I want to thank today's guest, William Hawkins, for sharing his musical vision with us. If you want to find out more about today's guest, check him out on the web, williamhawkins.info, Facebook, William Hawkins Music, or email lawaveworkshop@gmail.com. Check out our website here at PasadenaCommunityNetwork.com and select the Arroyo channel. You may also check the website 4mark.com for additional producers' information. Thanks to our director, Lilia Fernandez-Gaspar, and crew for making this show possible. Thanks to all of you. We hope to see you here again when we embark on another indie encounter.
Okay. This song is called Desperate. I'm always thinking of you. I'm always waiting for the perfect time to call your phone. I'm always walking slowly. I'm always marching through the shadows where your memories are. Holding on, won't we be together after all? I stay strong, so I don't sound so desperate for your call. I'm always writing for you. I'm always waiting for a song to bring you back into my arms. Holding on, won't we be together after all? I stay strong, so I don't sound so desperate for your call, for your call, for your call, for you. Why am I holding on for your call, for your call? Don't you remember that we belong? Holding on. Don't you still